Do we need to talk about things? No. Including the woodpecker outside. He's really annoying. I know that. Also, the thumbnail. Don't need to talk about that. This outfit. This is the infamous outfit. I've mentioned it a few times. I think I wore it once on sprints because it was cold. Someone got it for me for Christmas this past year. It is the gayest item I own of clothing, other than the 2 flannels I own. But yes, I feel like when I'm like this, I feel like I'm the gay leader of the Jawas, and if that doesn't tell you anything about me, I don't know what does. It's hot though, so I'm taking down the hood. Welcome to the Pride reading vlog, or queer reading vlog, depending what I say. I think the thumbnail says Pride Month reading vlog. Stand on this side so that book covers can go here. And I'm gonna start by telling you about the book that I'm gonna read last for this, which is Ever After. So this is Ever After by F.T. Lukens, which is the newest book I have bought. I thought it was Arthurian, like low-key Arthurian, like he's this version of Arthur, he's this version of Merlin, and they end up together. Like, this is the MLM for this vlog. But then someone informed me last night, Paco from Bad Witch Books, informed me last night that it is more D&D and less Arthurian, which I'm fine with, honestly. But yes, from what I understand, basically, I don't remember any character's name, but the guy who's Arthur but not Arthur, kills the evil guy, and his best friend, who is the Merlin, is like, hey, you just have to like sit on the throne until the heir can come and take the throne. And then the heir is dead. There's no heir, so now he rules this kingdom. But there's this thing where if by the time you're 18 you have to name your soulmate or else you die, and he's about to turn 18, so then he goes and like hits on all his friends, aka the Knights of the Round Table, and things go sideways, and the only person that knows about this, what's really going on, is Mr. Merlin, and then I assume they become a thing. And yeah, I have very high hopes. I loved In Deeper Waters so much. I want that book so bad. I loved it so much. I did talk my library into getting it though, In Deeper Waters, so like if I ever want to reread it, it'll be easy. But yes, that's the MLM book for the lesbians. Let's go lesbians. We got Wild and Wicked Things by Francesca May. I know basically nothing about this book. I think I've like read the synopsis a few times. This was going to be originally a different book that got moved to September for a different reading vlog because this was for a book club book as well, which is why it's under book club on here. But the book club, like, they were like, it's a queer book also on top of being fantasy, and I was like, hey, let me check it out, see what it's under for tags, and it said it was lesbian on Goodreads, so let's go. I'm pretty sure it takes place in a time period I don't like reading about, so I'm worried. And like the way it describes the world, it doesn't feel like my type of thing, but I will still read it. And that is the lesbians. We're gonna go right to the buys. This is weird. I gotta stand over here so that there's still room for the book covers, but I can read this. Girl Serpent Thorn by Melissa Bachardos. That's how I'm going with it. I know almost nothing about this. I think it was it Helen on my TBR video? Someone said that in the comments that it's a retelling, which I feel like I knew, but I forgot. Basically all I remembered was that she has a poison touch, which I only remembered because it reminded me of Rogue from the early 2000s X-Men movies. Peak me, honestly. Peak goth gay me. Oh god. But basically she is a princess who is cursed with the, like, whenever she touches someone it kills them type thing. Like, I'm getting very much like Sleeping Beauty mixed with assassin vibes, but basically there's something about her, because like if it goes based off of the book cover where it says something about her being the monster, if it goes into this whole thing about what makes a monster and all this stuff, I think I will really love this. I've heard very mixed things, but H loves it. Like, I think she rated it 5 stars, so there's that. And she's the one that told me that one of the characters is bi. So there's that. And that is our bi representation. And then for ARO or ACE representation, we got Loveless by Alice Osman. I don't really know anything about this one either. I think this one's coming of age, if I had to guess, based off of everything else I've read of hers. But basically, I was trying to think of ARO ACE representation books, and that was the first one I thought of. I was like, that one. I'll throw that one in. So that's that. And then for the non-binary / trans, we got Cemetery Boys, which is the first I'm going to read for the vlog. I don't know when I'm going to start it. Probably tomorrow, possibly. But I have both the audiobook and the ebook from the library. I got audiobook from one library, ebook from another library. But basically, I was trying to figure out non-binary or trans books that were own voices, because I wasn't sure about the rest of them being own voices. So I was like, I also want own voices, and the only ones I could think of was Mason Devers. But I've already read both of their novels. I think there's a novella for I Wish You All the Best that I haven't read, but I have read both of their novels, which I loved. We don't need to talk about how much I cried for The Ghost We Keep. So then I, of course, had to go to Google and be like, non-binary or trans books by own voices type situation. And Cemetery Boys was like the third one to pop up on the list, which has been on my list for a very long time. And I've always wanted to read it. Like, it seems is such my vibe, but I just haven't picked it up. For who knows what reason. But now I have, like, the availability to read it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna read it. I'm very excited. Is this going to be all the gay books I read this month? Hells no. I've already read one gay book, and I'm in the middle of another one right now. I'm probably going to start another one in like 5 minutes. These sticky notes were not here for my TBR video. We don't need to talk about how they are from me going through every gay book on my Goodreads / Storygraph TBR and just like writing down every single one I immediately want to read, which is 22, by the way. Yeah, we don't need to talk about that fact. But yes, that is what these are. These are all the other gay books I want to read. And, you know, I'm having a time. I'm living my best life with all the gays. And, you know, I'm really going full out for Pride Month. So, there's that. It's a real shame Pride Month is in the middle of summer, though, because, like, fucking, how am I supposed to wear my one rainbow outfit if it's June? How rude. Anyways, you better get used to this, because, I'm wearing it for every clip. I'm just gonna put it over my shirt every clip for this video. So you can all have fun with that. So can I, because it's gonna be interesting editing. But I will see you all whenever I reach halfway point of Cemetery Boys, probably. Unless if I finish it all in one day, that's a very strong possibility with the way I'm reading right now. Not me almost forgetting to put on this wonderful outfit. We're back here. Only reason because I'm on sprints. Like right here. You're leaning up against my computer and the timer's like right there, so I know how long I have to go. I am about 50%, like just under 50% through Cemetery Boys. I started it yesterday. It is the 8th, and I only just started it yesterday. I'm fine. It's okay. I am enjoying it so far. I can never remember these people's names. The main character is trans. I knew this, as well as gay. And then, I think she's his cousin, who is like one of the very few people in his family who, respect and use proper pronouns and all this jazz, as well as part of the magic culture they have and all this jazz. It's a hard time that he's going through. And then Julian, I think that's who pronounced his name, dies, and he accidentally summons his ghost, thinking it's one of his cousins who has died, that he's summoning. And so now he's trying to help Julian figure out what happened to him so he can move on. I think his name's Yadril. yes, okay, so I checked it on my computer, and his name is Yadro, and his cousin's name is Maritza, and best friend name is Maritza. So basically there's been a bunch of missing slash murdered kids from around the area, and they currently think that their cousin Miguel was the other victim of that night. So while helping Julian move on, they're also trying to solve this case. I thought for a brief second it was good, we were gonna get a Scooby-Doo moment, but alas. But I'm just itching my arm, don't worry about it. I am enjoying it. Aiden Thomas, they did a great job writing this, and I'm having a good time. Is that the right word to say? I've highlighted a lot of it, so there's that. And I do like the writing style, and the narrator's great for the audiobook. It's just a matter of me actually sitting down and reading at this point. But I do hope to finish it tonight, so I'll give you a final update tomorrow. Things to talk about, including the fact that they were gonna ignore the sounds of the birds outside. Also, the gay nails are a thing that happened. I contemplated refilming both clips for Cemetery Boys, but I'm just gonna do the one where I talk about my final thoughts on the book. And then very heavily edit down the initial one, because that one I filmed very weird. Anyways, the initial version of this was like 2 minutes, and did not do justice for Cemetery Boys. So here I am doing it again, like 4 days later. And I'm just gonna say that I cannot pronounce words properly normally, and I don't want to mispronounce these main characters' names. So I'm gonna go with the nicknames they go by, which is Yads is the main character, and Jules is the ghost boyfriend. And then there's Yad's cousin. I'm trying to figure out how to start this. Start talking about it really, and how much I enjoyed it. I'm going with 4 stars. And a lot of the reason why I didn't like it as much as I did was mostly just because the one fact that I guessed every like plot twist slash the whole entire mystery thing, like all that I guessed. Like, it's fine though, I'm fine with that, because that was like the smart way to go, all that jazz. I just figured it out pretty early. Like, as soon as that character was introduced, I was like, okay, it's him. And then as soon as the evil god, like opposite of the death goddess they worship, was brought up, I was like, okay, he's gonna be sacrificing people in the name of this this god. This, is it god, is it demon, I don't really know. And then also the fact that Jules for like half the book was very annoying. Not in the fact of the way that his character is, like he gets angry sometimes and he overreacts. He reacts in a way of anger, and such, and also the way that he makes light of everything. So it's a lot of him switching back and forth between bursts of anger and making light of everything, and that itself is fine. It's just that it was constant. Like it could have been shown like 2 or 3 times max, and I would have been fine. But I feel like it was like 5 times, and around time 3 I was like, okay, I get the gist. Like, he is angry, rightfully so in a lot of situations, but like he's making it harder on everyone else, and like, does it need to happen? No. Like, the stealing of the car, does that need to happen? No. Like, I honestly do not know why that whole entire scene happened, except for the fact that they couldn't make out on the roof or on the front of the car. Like, I guess this is such a look. So like the first few times, yeah, I get it, it's showing his character, I don't have a problem with it, whatever. But after a while it just got repetitive and annoying in the repetitiveness of itself, not in the actual character. That being said, I still like his character, and the romance is top tier, okay? I will never not say that. The last like paragraph or so of the book, I did highlight it, so like if you want to read that that last paragraph, It's on my Goodreads in my notes and highlights section. But basically it's about like how after like everyone did accept him as a male of this group and not as his born gender. And there was like also a lot of stuff about how in Spanish culture, and then different Spanish cultures, but mostly in the language, the way you talk about things is very genderized. That's basics of what I remember from Spanish class. And so how that would be very difficult for him, because a lot of people would still use the female like descriptors or whatnot for the words. I forget like the terminology that to use for all this jazz because it's been years, but people would still use the female version of nouns and such around him, despite the fact that he identifies as a male, and it's like very difficult. And eventually like his father does accept him in front of like everyone, but like the last paragraph or so was like, yeah, people accept me now, but like it's not magically fixed, like there's still a problem, but like they're getting better and all this stuff, and that part was very important. The representation is very important. I love this book. And Yads is just Yads. I love Yads, okay? I love Yads. But like I am a part of 0% of representation in this book. I'm not trans, I'm not a gay man of color, and I'm not Latinx, but like the representation in this book, I know is one, own voices. Why I chose this one is because it's own voices, but two, it's very beautiful. The way that Aiden Thomas uses food throughout the story is just spectacular, and I loved it. That is like one of the main things. I wish if I had read it physically, I definitely would have annotated it, just looking through the lens of food and how food plays a part in the story and all that jazz. So I kind of stopped saying all that jazz. So yeah, that was beautiful. It was beautifully written. I love the writing style. I don't know anything else written by Aiden Thomas, but I will pick up anything else they write, probably. This did not go, like, the story itself was not what I originally expected, but that's fine. I enjoyed it. The representation was beautiful. A lot of the stuff about his father not accepting him as a male member of this group just hurt my heart a lot, and I almost cried at one point. Ooh. And then so like the writing style was good, the atmosphere was good, the plot itself was good. I mean, yes, I guessed stuff, but like it was still good, and the characters most of the time I was fine with. So yeah, like that's my thoughts there. 7 minutes actual like in-depth thought on why I enjoy this book, and I do recommend it. This was very beautiful, and I think people should just read this book. It's great. But I'm rating it 4 stars. I don't know what book I'm doing next. I'm either gonna read Girl Serpent Thorn or Wild, Wicked, and Wicked Things. Yeah, Wild and Wicked Things next. It really just depends which one I can get my hands on first. But I don't know when that's gonna be. Probably not for a bit. So like, I'll see when that happens. But it's gonna be a while, fam. It's gonna be a minute. Do we need to talk about how it is now the 23rd? I do not remember the last time, like what date it was. I know I updated you with my final thoughts. It's too early in the morning. I can't think of words. What was that book called? Cemetery Boys. There we go. Which I really enjoyed. Can't remember the name of it at 8 in the morning, but I really enjoyed it. Yesterday, I attempted Wild and Wicked Things. I don't know if you can see the giant X mark right here, but that girl's DNF. You probably could tell if you paid attention to the thumbnail, because the thumbnail for the lesbian book does not have Wild and Wicked Things there anymore. I had to go back and change it. Now it has A Lady's Guide to Celestial Mechanics by Olivia Waite. I don't know. The cover will go up when I start to talk about it. But first, I'll talk about Wild Wicked Things and why I stopped at like 42 pages, even though I was going to try to read all of part 1. Which is, I knew going into it that it was World War One time period. I think it's post World War One, like right after World War One. Generally not a time period I enjoy to read about. But I still like was willing to give it a shot. I assumed the time period itself wouldn't be my favorite, but maybe the setting, because it is, I'm pretty sure, a fictional island that it takes place on. The characters, especially since it's lesbian, I thought maybe the characters I would enjoy. Or the magic system, because it does have witches. No. This was post World War One, Great Gatsby with lesbians and witches, but I hated every single character, and I don't understand the magic system at all. Yes, I only got into 42 pages, so can I say that with any, like, gravitas? Absolutely not. I still say you try it yourself, because I know some people who have really enjoyed it. It's just, for me, not my type of thing. I am so confused by the magic system, and from the reviews that I read from other people who didn't enjoy it, that never changes. It's very confusing. I was gonna try to read all of part 1. I was gonna do it. I was gonna try to read 100 pages. That's a general rule I try to do, where I try to read the first 100 pages. That was about part 1 of the book. I was gonna do it. But then she goes and, Annie goes and sees her best friend who, like, abandoned her years ago without saying goodbye and all this stuff. And the level of toxicity I got from that, I could not handle. I was... I had to leave. I was visibly getting angry with this book. I was not having a good time. Also, it was low-key romanticizing World War One. You know, I'm not into that, which is the main reason why I don't like to read books from that time period, because that tends to be how I feel. Even if it's not actually romanticizing it, it just feels icky. Like, this is the way she sets it up is that Prohibition is actually about magic, not about alcohol, and World War One happened, and Prohibition happened because of what happened for World War One, which was magic controlling people, and that's why World War One happened, I'm pretty sure. It did not say how magic led to the cause of World War One, but it said that it was the cause. And so that's why magic is now illegal, and they're on an island full of people who do magic all the time. But, like, you could have used a fake war. Like, you could have just made up some, like, you made up the island that they're on, that the whole entire book is set on, I'm pretty sure. You could have made a fake war and gotten the same effect, and then I wouldn't feel so grossed out. And I probably would have liked it a lot more, honestly. But, you know, I was not having a time, with that book. So I had to put it down. And I felt bad because, I really wanted some good lesbian representation in this vlog. So I am going to pick up a book for that today. But that's beside the point, because I did, after I put that down, start Girl, Serpent, Thorn from Melissa Bashardust. It says it on her Goodreads profile, but listen, I don't know how to speak words. And I was scared of this one. These were the two I was scared of, because both of them have like 3.5 something ratings on Goodreads, which doesn't mean anything, because like one of my favorite books last year, The Boyfriend Project, has like a 3.6, and I rated it 5 stars. So like, it doesn't mean anything in reality, but also like, it still makes me scared. And I've heard very mixed things about it, but one of my best friends, H, has adamantly informed me that this is a great book. I'm pretty sure she rated it 5 stars. Anyways, this is one of the first two, like, when I was very basic beginning planning of this vlog, she was like, okay, Girl, Sleep with Thorn, buy representation, read it for the vlog. I was like, okay, fine. And here I am reading it. I only got 52 pages in, which is about 15%. But I am living my best life. This book is so good. Oh my god. I get why people can dislike it. I get it. I see it. I still enjoy it. It's not a problem for me. I'm just having a fun time. It's just a fun time. It's very sad, which I was expecting, because that's the type of books Age enjoys. So there's that. But it's very sad, and also so I can't pronounce any characters' names because I'm very basic, and I can't pronounce anyone's name ever. So like, but the character that I don't like, someone finally punched him, and oh, I remember I was calling him Ramen. I was like, I don't think that's his actual name, but I don't like him, so I'm calling him Ramen. Which I think is very rude to actual ramen, but you know, if you know what character, you know what character, okay? He's not a nice guy. Very much gives me creeper vibes. Like, if he could touch her, I am scared of what he would do type situation. But it's okay, because man's punched him, and then she went all up on this man's, and I'm living my best life. But I will not be continuing it today. I'll continue it tomorrow. And I'll update you when I'm like halfway through. But so far, I'm enjoying it. The writing style is nice. That's like the one thing I could say about Wild and Wicked Things, is that I like the writing style. So if she ever writes another book, I'll totally pick it up. Because that was like her first and only book like ever. There's like nothing else on her Goodreads. But for Girls Up a Thorn, I'm liking the writing style. The characters, well, I don't like all the characters clearly, but like how the characters are set up, I enjoy them. The setting is nice. The world itself, I'm a bit confused here and there, but that's fine, because I'm just living my best life. I'm actually having a good time. Also, I'm pretty sure she's 18 because her brother is 18 and they're twins, so but I could just tell you what this book is about, which is basically the prologue was very nicely set up. So it was like her mother telling her this fairy tale, because I'm pretty sure this is a fairy tale retelling as well. So her mother's like telling her this fairy tale, but the fairy tale is actually the story of how the main character is poisoned, like is a poison touch and all this stuff. So that's fun. But basically, when her mother was young, she went to like this, I think they're demon type things. I think they're called like divs, who cursed her when she went in the woods, so that her firstborn daughter would be poisoned by the touch, and everyone she touched would die and would have to deal with loneliness. There was the question of why it had to be the daughter and not the firstborn son. Listen, don't ask me, ask Disney. But then it like takes place 18 years later when she's like an adult, but she's like hidden away and she can't talk. Like, she doesn't talk to anyone. Like, her brother never visits her, who's now the new ruler of the land. I think their father died like 7 years ago, so their mother was like the queen regent type situation. So he's the current ruler, and is getting married to her best friend, who hasn't talked to her in forever. The guy I do not like is her brother. And then, so the only person who occasionally visits her is her mother, but like the way it's set up is that every season they're at a different palace, and so for the spring season is the only time they're at the palace that she's always at, and like they occasionally talk, her and her mother do, but like she's not gonna talk to her as much this time because she's got to plan this wedding. So she's just left on her own devices even when they are there. And she's like, doesn't talk to any servants. Like, it's this whole thing where she never talks to anyone. And it's already heartbreaking and I'm loving it. But, enough about this. We'll talk about the new, lesbian book for this video, which is Lady's Guide to Celestial Mechanics. Which has been on my TBR for a while, I'm pretty sure. But then Helen kept on recommending it to me, because I was like, I like Regency romances, but also lesbians, and she was like, this book, and I was like, cool, it's already on my TBR, I should actually read it. And then it was like, in the sticky notes here of all the extra books that I wanted to read this month, it is there, it's right there. And so, like, it was low-key planned for this month, and so I was, like, looking through my list of all these books, of which one to replace Wild Wicked Things with, and I was like, you know what? It's on Kindle Unlimited, it's 219 pages, and it's just a quick romance. I'm gonna heckin' do it. I'm gonna live my best life. I will probably love it. And I'm excited. I haven't started it yet, but I did read the synopsis. I don't remember any character's name. You know how it goes for me. But basically, one of the two main characters ends up going to her ex-lover's wedding, and she's like, I gotta get out of here, fam. So she gets hired to translate some French text, and the woman who hires her to do it is a widow who's trying to finish her husband's work, and then she can move on with her life and all this stuff, and then they grow an attraction towards each other and gaze. That's what I got from the synopsis, okay? But yes, I'm gonna read that, like, the whole entire thing today. Maybe some more of Girls Summer Thor, because I am really enjoying it. And also because I'm, like, really behind on this vlog. But, like, we don't need to talk about that. It's fine. But yes, sprints are probably gonna start, like, in 10 minutes, so I'm gonna go do that. And have a fun time. But I will catch you when I have thoughts, either about Lady Gaga Celestial Mechanics or Girls Summer Thorn. I love how my first turn is on then. Talk to you later. Listen, it's still hot out, so we're ignoring the sounds outside. Also, it's humid, and it's gross, and it's the 27th, and I finally finished Lady Gaga Celestial Mechanics, last night. So, I did not tell you anything. Also, it was not her husband's work that Catherine wanted Lucy, is that her name? Instantly forgot every character's name, to translate. It was some French astronomers' work, and all the white men were like, you're a woman, you can't do it. So basically she pays for everything for Lucy to do it, and everything turns out good in the end, and also gays. I mean, there's not really much I can say about the story without spoiling it, because it is like 200 pages, but I can say that the writing style was interesting. There was very much a Jane Austen type feel in the way that it was written to commentate on the society that these two main characters are living in. But also the writing style was very repetitive. And like the same things would happen a few times, or the same phrase would be used, or close to the same phrase would be used a few times to explain something. And I'm like, okay, but like, do I need to read this again? But I did enjoy it, so I'm going 4 stars. The only reason it's not more is because it did take me a bit to get into and pick it back up once I put it down. But also, because of that repetitiveness, it kind of got annoying near the end. But the last 4 chapters, so I am going with 4 stars. 4 stars. And I enjoyed it. So there's that. I have not read any more of Girls Serpent Thorn since then. That's a lie. I technically read a paragraph this morning. The problem is that in order to film, edit, and upload this video in June, I have to read each of these in a day. I'm sorry to future editing me, who's gonna have to edit all the book covers in when I talk about multiple books at once, but it's fine. Okay, I'm back. I've realized that if I'm gonna talk about multiple books at a time, I should probably actually have the physical one, so I have less editing to do. Imagine that. Anyways, that's what I'm gonna have to do. I've heard that Loveless, because I am buddy reading Loveless with a bunch of people, so like they have said that it is a fast read. So I think I may be able to get that one done in a day. So this is Ever After. If In Deeper Waters says anything, I can do it in a day. I did read all of In Deeper Waters in a day. And this one's about 300 pages. I think I can do it. Especially since what I've heard, the writing style is very similar. The way people explain the writing style is similar to how I felt about In Deeper Waters. But now I'm expecting it, so like, I won't mind it, as much. And then, so the real problem child is gonna be Girl Slipper Thorn. Now me switching sides, oof. But Girl Slipper Thorn, it's gonna be the problem child, honestly. So, I, like, technically, should I read, like, all of Loveless today so I can try to read Girl Summer Thorn tomorrow? Maybe. But, like, because it's already, like, 11 o'clock and I haven't read anything minus that one paragraph. But also, I like Girl Summer Thorn, so should I just, like, try to sit down and read it all today? Like, I've got 12 hours. Can I do it? Probably, if I actually sit down and read. Here's the thing, the world's going to hell in a handbasket right now, and I was not in a reading mood for multiple days. I was just sitting there not reading. That's a lie. I read fanfiction on my phone. But yeah, that's how June's gone. Like, but yeah, that's everything. I mean, I feel like I should tell you more about Lady's Guide to Social Mechanics, but I don't know what to tell you without spoiling it. The romance itself, great. Dion can quite literally tell you because like I was messaging in the group chat while talking to her because she had already read it, that I was freaking out in the last like 4 chapters, like if they don't kiss and make up soon, I will fight someone. And then they pretty much right after that kissed and made up. So, because you know, the 3rd act breakup has to happen. Also, every male character and Pris can fight me. They can get out of here, especially the guy who's in charge of the Science Society, can most definitely fight me. I will straight up fight him. I think there's like one male character I somewhat like. Otherwise, like, no. Also, she accepted apologies way too fast. Like, I somewhat understand accepting Catherine's apology when she reads the letter from Pris. That one I understand. But when her brother straight up, like, has been ignoring her existence for most of her life and then uses her own work to, like, make himself popular and get money despite the fact that she gave him money and ended up ruining, like, the shit that she went through because of that, like, and he was just like, I'm sorry, and it was instantly fine. Like, nah. I somewhat accepted that one just because they were siblings, but, like, Society Guy can, like, fight. Like, I'm ready. Like, multiple times I was ready to fight him, and ever so much more, near the end. But, you know, it's fine. It's not fine, but, like, I get that, like, he's not gonna change instantly, but he recognizes that he did at least some wrong. He never actually apologizes to her, too. That's, like, another thing, but he did some wrong to his sister, because, of course, he has to recognize the wrong that he did to his sister first. But, yeah. The characters, for the most part, I like the way they were written. I didn't like most of the characters, but I did like the way they were written. The romance itself was nice. And it was very easy to tell how much time had passed. That was nice, because, like, that's a problem I have with a lot of romances. And I guess the atmosphere and setting and story itself were okay. And the writing was okay. So, like, most of it was okay. It's just really the romance that did it for me, okay? And, I'm fine with that, because they're cute together, okay? Hear me out. They are very different people. Like, one is a very smart scientist. The other one, yeah, she's smart too, but she's an artist. They, like, are on different tracks, but, like, parallel tracks, but they complement each other. Also, hear me out. Respecting your lover's decisions. Love that for them. But yeah, that's me talking about the Lady's Guide to Social Mechanics. I have, like, nothing. I have no thoughts. My head's empty. I'm gonna go try to read Girl Slipper Thorn in a day. Will I update you halfway through? I have no heckin' clue. All I know is I'm gonna take this thing off because it is burning hot. So I'll talk to you when I talk to you. Who knows at this point? The way I'm shadowed back in this dark corner. That's fine. It is 7:53, and I'm watching sprints at 8, so like I'm gonna do this fast. But I just finished Girl Serpent Thorn with the power of audiobook. With an audiobook, you too can read a book in like 3 hours when you actually sit down and read it. So that's fun. I love it so much. There's a lot of repetition in the book, very similar to Ladies Guide to Celestial Mechanics, but more in a way that like it's on purpose, like it's part of the storytelling thing, because a lot of it is that listen, the fact that I just stopped listening to the audiobook, there's a mosquito over there, means I can maybe pronounce some of these names, but Soraya, and the evil bad guy, I'm not gonna say his name because it's a spoiler, but like they are very similar in a lot of ways, and so a lot of it is repetition, but also it's like repetition of the past, and how she changes, like from what she does, changes the past and like fixes all. It's beautiful. Okay, that's all I can say. It's beautiful. I love it. I can get why people don't like it. It's definitely more of like a writing style that you gotta get used to type thing, I feel like. As well as the fact that the story itself, like the part of her being poisoned to the touch, is like over in like the first like 120 pages or something. I don't know the exact amount, but I think it's like a third of the way through and she no longer has her powers, so like what's the point of the book type thing. But it also reminded me a lot of my favorite books, especially the ones I read earlier this year in May actually. So like there's also that. This is not a book about bisexuality. It's about a woman who just like, it's not a book about bi woman, it's about a woman who happens to be bi. Like she's got like, it's a love triangle type thing, but like also they're like, it's a brief love triangle, and as soon as like evil guy shows his real face, it's no longer a love triangle. Like she's just flirting with this man to get what she needs, and all this stuff, to try to save her family and her people and all that jazz. And then there's the woman that she likes and has a romance with, and listen, when she says that she will bring the mans to her who hurt her and destroyed her to his knees, that hit my little bi heart. Okay, my little gay heart was just like, hells yeah. But yes, the fact that she is bi is not a part, like, isn't the point of the story. It's just that she happens to be bi in this story. Like, could the story have been same if, like, both of them were women or both of them were male? Yes. But I don't think it would have hit the same. So there's that. And that's all I'm gonna say. I don't really have much else to say, because I did just read it all just now. But it was very good. I should probably tell you my rating. My rating was 4.5 stars. This is the most chaotic update ever. That's a lie. Cemetery Boys was more chaotic. Especially the part that I redid. But good. I recommend. I mean, I'm gonna hesitantly recommend because I loved it. If you're the type of person who likes similar books to me, I recommend it. Especially when it comes to the writing style. But I don't think most people will like the writing style if that's not evident by the average rating on Goodreads. Also, I like highlighted half of it. Like, I was having a fun time highlighting that book. But yeah, I'm going with 4.5, making it the highest rated book of this vlog so far. But next, I am going to start Loveless. In about 2 minutes, sprints are starting. So I'm going to read that. I have both the ebook and the audiobook of that one as well. Because I did find a copy of the audiobook around the same time that I was looking for Girl Serpent Thorn as an audiobook. So I'm going to start with a different book first. But like I'm gonna for the purpose of this vlog start that book. I don't know how far I will get, but I will get a certain point. I want to be at least the first 100 pages in, mostly for the people that I'm reading it with, the reading group that I'm reading it with. Like, it's every 100 pages we're saying our thoughts and whatnot in the group chat. So like I want to get like 100 pages in tonight, And then tomorrow I have the plan of finishing Loveless, which I didn't mention it in the intro because I wasn't sure. Like, I remembered hearing it, but I wasn't sure, but I double checked to make sure it is own voices as well. So both Cemetery Boys and Loveless are own voices, which we love that for us. Confirmed own voices. I don't know if Melissa Bastardos is by or anything, but like, we're standing. But yes, I'm gonna pick that up tonight, finish it tomorrow, hopefully before noon. And so I have plenty of time to read, so this is Ever After. But yeah, this is going much better than I planned. Apparently when I put myself on a time constraint, I actually do good. I could have told you that. My college education could have told you that, my dude. But yes, I will update you in the morning with how far I got in Loveless and my thoughts. We are back in the dark corner. Also, people are doing things like right below me. So, if there's a weird cut, that's why. But I feel bad because I know people like the whiteboard, so I moved the whiteboard against the door so you can still see at least most of it. I mean, it doesn't even matter because like right here is where I'm gonna put the book cover for Loveless. Remember when I said I was gonna read more of Loveless the night that I finished? I can't remember names of books anymore. Girl Jumping Thorn, that's what it was called. The one I like the most in this fall. But that night I was like, hey, you know, I'm gonna start Loveless. That didn't happen. I went to bed at like 9:30. That's fine. I didn't actually fall asleep until like midnight, and then woke up 20 minutes before my sprints yesterday, but that's fine. I did finish. I read all of Loveless yesterday on the 27th, 28th. I can't think of dates anymore. 28th. It is now noon on the 29th, and I haven't even started the next book, but that's fine. But yes, I read all of Loveless with the power of, say it with me, audiobook. That's how I managed to do basically anything. But yes, I loved it. I'm going 4 stars for this one as well. Which I know is kind of repetitive, but it's fine. I'm living my best life this reading month. If we just ignored the whole entire Infernal Devices, like, I've had a very good reading month. But I should like give you the rundown. So this is about Georgia. Georgia, who has 2 best friends, Pip and Jason. Jason is pretty obvious from the beginning, has a crush on her. And Pip is a lesbian. They're kind of in a small town and all this stuff. She has never been kissed and she wants to be kissed. She has this crush named Tommy, and then he goes in for a kiss and she realizes, nah, she's never had a crush on him. She just said that she had a crush on him because she figured he was conventionally attractive, and all that fun stuff. And so her friend pushed her to kiss him. She ends up not kissing him. He burns her jacket. And then it cuts to them at college. She recognizes that this is the time to live the life she's always wanted. She's in love with the idea of love, and she wants that fun times, with the help of her roommate, who does sleep around. There's a lot about sexual positivity in this book, which we stand. But her roommate, Rooney, helps her try to figure out what her type is, who she wants to date, all this fun stuff. If she's into girls, guys. She ends up joining the basically queer society there, and the president of it, who is also the dorm parent, I'm using American terms here, and a friend is asexual, and his best friend is a romantic, and so they like, he explains it to her, and all this stuff, and like things click in her brain. Like, she's like, okay, interesting. I'm just gonna put a tab in this and continue my life. Okay, we're cut because people had to go up and down the stairs and slam doors as hard as possible multiple times right below me. But that's fine. In the brick, I lifted it up further, so you can see all of it now. But basically, she decides to date Jason because Rooney informs her, hey, Jason likes you. And so she's like, well, if I could feel romantic love with anyone, it'd be with Jason, and all this stuff. And also, while all this is happening, like, there's things with Pip and Rooney having a flirtation, but also hating each other, because Pip thinks that Rooney is straight, and Rooney has bad experiences with romantic relationships, so she just wants intimacy. And then, at the halfway point is when her first kiss happens with Jason. He recognizes that all this was like an experiment for her, kind of like an experiment, of her sexuality, and she never liked him like that. He gets angry, and then there's an event where like Pip and like Rooney's super drunk, everyone's super drunk, and Rooney kind of likes girls, so she kisses Georgia to see if she likes girls, and to see if Georgia likes girls, or if it's just men she doesn't like kissing, and all this stuff. And at this point, she's basically confirmed with herself that she's ace arrow. So, or arrow ace, I guess that's the order they do it, right? Yeah. So, there's all that. There's also, like, side plots with the Shakespeare Society, where they put on plays, with Rooney, Pip, Georgia, Jason, and, the head of the queer society, I forget his name, is it Snell? Something like that. So Pip gets very angry, she sees it, and leaves. She has to apologize to everyone and basically explain her sexuality to her. Another weird cut the stairs. I am hoping my voice is drowning out like half of this at least. But I was scared that it was gonna be like Georgia had to use her sexuality to like explain to these other people, and then them trying to understand. Like, Rooney finds out that she's pan. Jason has figured it out, basically, and so he's like fine. Jason's reaction is my favorite one, honestly. But I was really worried about Pip, because Pip's been like very much low-key pushing her onto dating people, and also like especially from the beginning, and then also very much been like, someday you'll find somebody, and basically our whole entire family's like that too. And she's just like, I'm good, fam. I'm good. I'm good. I don't want any. Well, she likes the idea of it. In reality, she's good. She doesn't want any of that. So that's fun time. She has to deal with her own thoughts on her sexuality, how she's always dreamed this life for herself, and how chances are she'll never have it, because that's just not something she wants. But also, like, you can still have love, like relationship love, like friendship is still a form of love, and it's important. And her and Rudy have this beautiful moment, and they're best of friends, and all this stuff, and it's very beautiful. They all end up friends again, blah blah blah. Who cares about any of that? It's very much a story on how people in general view happiness. Like, you're only happy if you're in a relationship, if you have kids, if like the picket white fence type dream, and that's what she always thought she wanted, until she realizes this about herself, and about how you may not want that, but like the relationship with friends is just as important, and that is love as well. Okay, and I stand. It like, did it have to be 400 pages? I don't know. Like, it was a little, I don't want to say cringe, but it was a little awkward at points. But I understand, because one, figuring out your sexuality is awkward at points. But two, like, this is own voices. Like, Alice Osman is Arrow Ace as well. So I'm pretty sure, like, at least some part of that, shut up bird, is, like, at least loosely based off of real life experiences she's been through, which, like, the fact that my heart hurt, because I was just like, I just wanted this girl to, like, have friends and just have a good time. Like, she's going through it, her first year of college, and I just want her to have some friends and happiness, and people to understand her sexuality. Like, at one point, a guy who didn't know that she's asexual was talking about how asexuality isn't a thing, and she dumps wine down his, and that was hilarious. We stand that part. He was a jerk for, like, the 2 other scenes he was in anyway, so, like, it's fine. More people walking around. We love that. What was I talking about? Lord knows. I don't. Oh, yeah, the fact that it is being talked about, from future Georgia's like, she's telling it back to us. And I realized this halfway point, right after the first kiss. So technically it was like 51%. But she was saying, like, talking about the way she talked about the kiss was like, she's talking about it many years in the future and looking back and being like, hey, yeah, that was the wrong thing to do, and that's how my first kiss happened, and kissing, gross. And yeah, so that was interesting, and I'm like, I don't think it was super obvious until that point, but maybe I'm just dumb, like, who knows. But yeah, I liked it. 4 stars. How many times do people need to use the stairs in these 13 minutes? Apparently 10 million times. It's fine. Basically the moral story is that I would like to give Alice Oseman a hug. I don't even know if that's how you pronounce her last name, but I want to give her a hug. Though if she's not into hugging, I will just give her internet hugs instead. And bake her cookies, because that's my skill set, okay? But 4 stars. I loved it. Highly recommend. It is a very easy read, very fast. The chapters are so short, and I love that for me. It's cute. The narrator did a good job for the audiobook, but it's also just written nice, and I liked it. Next up is So This Is Ever After by F.T. Lukens. I have not started it yet. It is 352 pages, and I am planning to read all of it today. I can do it. I read all of In Deeper Waters in one day. In December last year. There's this thing where Riveted, I think that's what it's called, was doing a thing where, like, every day there was a book for free online that you could, like, read for that whole entire day, and that's it for that day. And I think it was intended for, like, you read first 2 chapters and see if you want to read it. My dumb ass went and read multiple books one day each. I did have to get a copy from the library later on because I did not finish it. I think there was one other one that I had to do like that. I think it was like something infinite. It was the one with the cellist. But In Deeper Waters and Wings of Ebony, I think that's what it's called. Those types of books I did do in one day. And it was a very fast and easy read. Technically, does it count as middle grade? Is the real question, because F.T. Lukens says that the age group starts at around 14, which is around middle grade ends. So it's like right on the cuff between middle grade and YA. So there's that. And I did not know that going into In Deeper Waters. So that was like my main complaint in Deeper Waters. Like, there's a lot of deep topics. But like the writing style was for a younger audience. That being said, I think that was like a lot of people's complaints though. So I think that's why this one has a higher rating on Goodreads, because people who are picking this one up already knew that. And don't mind it or whatever. So I know that. Also, I say it's 352 pages, but like the text size is pretty large. I can do this. Like, I'm not even gonna try to do it with an audiobook. I'm just gonna read it. Also, I love all these characters. I love this cover in general, but I took the dust jacket off to see what it looks like underneath for the first time. Like an hour ago. And can we just talk about this purple? I love it, okay? I love it. It's beautiful. Not people opening doors again. But yes, this one is, listen, everyone should know, and I would have instantly bought this because it's Arthurian and gay. Has everyone heard to talk about Legendborn? Still my favorite book of the year. So far, like, ooh. I'm so excited. But yes, I know what I'm going into writing style, so that's fun. I'm thinking I recognize that this is technically the gay book for the gay representation. The endgame relationship is MLM, so I'll say that. Because I assume the person who's supposed to be Arthur and the person who's supposed to be Merlin end up together. But, I don't have to tell the synopsis because I told it in the beginning. I mean, I guess I could, like, give the rundown again, where basically, he kills evil bad guy, sits on the throne, like, the Merlin guy, who's his best friend. I don't remember any of the characters' actual names. He tells him, hey, you sit on the throne until the heir can come and take it. Except the heir did. So now he's the ruler, but before he turns 18 in like 3 months, he has to find a soulmate or else he dies. The only other person who knows about this is Merlin. So then he's like hitting on all his friends, the Knights of the Round Table, to be like, hey, I gotta find love. But it's right in front of him the whole time, aka Merlin. I love Arthurian anything. Listen, young gay me was obsessed with BBC's Merlin. I love that show so much. So like if anyone's got Arthurian recommendations, like hit me up. I'm planning to do a future reading vlog where I just read a bunch of Arthurian content because girl is obsessed. It's fine. But I know in Eating Deeper Waters the main character is bi, and I assume based off the back of all the people from the round table that a few of them are female. Like they look femme. In fact, I think only one of them don't look femme on here, but that's fine. From first glance, like quick glance type thing. So I assume the main character is going to be bi, but the relationship that he's in is with a man type thing. And this is male MLM, so like I'm gonna count it. I'm gonna count it as the gay book. Could I have read it for the bi book and the gay book at the same time? Because content, yes, but I don't care. It's too late now. Anyways, I'm just gonna read this now. I will update you maybe halfway through. I don't know. It really depends on what's happening. Both with other people downstairs or my reading. So we'll see. But I am very excited to read this. So I won't go do that like right now. I'm not even gonna edit this. I'm gonna edit it at the end because I'm like I just want to read this bad boy. Okay, thanks. Fine. Bye. I'll talk to you later. I think it just stopped raining. I also just like literally just I didn't even do the calculating on my rating, but I know it's gonna be a 4.5 because I love this so much. Remember when I said I wouldn't do audiobook? I did audiobook. I tested it out and I was like, I'm not feeling it. I wasn't the biggest fan of the narrator in the beginning. They grew on me more in the beginning. I wasn't the biggest fan. But I decided to just go with the narrator. And this was just beautiful. I almost cried at the end. This is just so funny and cute and I loved it. So basically, his name's Eric, right? Yes, remember how I just finished this? Eric has been madly in love with his best friend, Matt, who is the wizard. Not the bugs, God. But he's been in love with him for a while now. And he just killed the evil guy who was on the throne. And so he's like, finally, we finished the prophecy. We can get married. Or I can tell him that I like him. And then it turns out he has to find a soulmate or connect his soul to someone as part of the throne stuff. When he sits on the throne and takes the throne. Or else he literally starts vanishing piece by piece. It's very clear that Matt is also into him, but like doesn't say anything about it. Apparently he has been for like their whole entire lives, so love that. I could definitely see where the D&D stuff comes in. Like when I was talking to other people who have read it, they said it was definitely more D&D than Arthurian, and I can see it. I mean, there's like the stereotypical bard and rogue and knight and warrior and mage are the friends, but like also it's just really funny. It's so funny. So basically, the previous ruler, or the last heir of the original family who had the throne, had a journal that she wrote down her, like, happy love story. Everyone in this book is gay. Like, there's so much gay in this book. Ugh. But she had this journal, and so he makes up this plan to woo all his friends using her tactics, like accidentally getting locked in a room with her, or trying to teach her how to dance, but like actually it's just feeling each other out. Weird cut, intensive. Also, I'm pretty sure people are going to bed, so I'm gonna be quieter, but like, it's fine. It's fine. Oh my god, I'm so shadowed. Here, I'll take this off to help. You can just look at my horrible hair instead. Basically, that happens multiple times. Like, he makes a plan to be locked in a tower with one of his friends, accidentally gets locked with Matt, which leads to them communicating. Or, he makes a plan to better his sword fighting with the night guy, but he, like, never, like, does the physical touching, like the dancing in the story. But then he teaches Matt briefly, and they get all touchy-feely. And then there's the one where he tries to, like, be the hero and rescue one of their friends, and so she swoons in his arms. But at one point, Matt gets hit in the battle and swoons in his arms. And it's so funny. It's so funny at points. And when it's not funny, it's just really cute. And I just love it. Basically, I just need people to tell me other Arthurian retellings or adaptations, because every single one I've read, aka the two that I've read, I have loved. So give me more, please. Okay. I'm going with 4.5 stars. So Girl, Slip, and Thorn and this book are tied for favorite books in this video. I'll do a basic rundown. So Cemetery Boys, it was just just released that there's gonna be a sequel, and I'm so excited. I've been having dreams about tamales because of that book. So the food, the representation, just like the heart-wrenching feeling, and very important things. That book was great. 4 stars. We all know I didn't have to wild wicked things. We do not need to talk about it. Okay, thank you, good night. But I did read The Lady's Guide to Celestial Mechanics instead, and that was great. It was a bit slower than I expected it was gonna be, but it was great. And also short. It's very slow for a book that was that short, though. I don't know. 4 stars. Girl, Slip, and Thorn. We know I loved it. I have so many feelings about that book, and I just love it. I don't know which book is gonna be, like, which one's gonna be the best book for the month officially, because that's the thing I do on my Instagram. But it's either gonna be this one or Girl, Slip, and Thorn. I kind of want it to be this one just so that I can pit this against Legendborn. Either way, Legendborn's gonna win because it's a 5-star. But I think I want to pit this against Legendborn because they're both Arthurian retellings, but that's fine. But yes, 4.5 stars. Sad, and I get why people don't like it, because it's more character than plot based. But I loved it. My heart just hurts. And then there was Loveless, which also made my heart hurt, but for different reasons. But it was like a bit long. Like, it didn't feel long in the moment, but like, also, why is it 400 pages? Like, I get, like, it takes a long time for you to recognize your sexuality and get, like, feel happy in that, and tell other people and all this happy stuff. But like, it was a bit long, fam. Like, why does it have to be 412 pages? I think, or at least my copy was like that long. I think it was the longest book I read for this vlog. I think Wild and Wicked Things would have been longer if I had finished it, but I didn't. It was basically twice as long as these guys' Special Mechanics. So, you know, there's that. And then this lovely gem. I loved this so much. If you listen, the realm is called Chickpea. If that tells you anything about this book is just funny and cute and adorable, and I love it. I love it the same amount I love Girls of a Thorn, except that one was sad and broke my heart. This one was beautiful and cute and adorable and broke my heart in different ways, and both of them made me cry. But yeah, this was a good time. I'm gonna go edit everything I filmed today so that I can upload this before the end of the month. Because Pride Month. Jazz hands with my pride fingers. You can't really tell with this lighting, but you know, who cares? This was beautiful. I think I've officially read like 10. I think it's 10 queer books this month, which we live for. It's the most read genre for this month for me, and genre according to Storygraph, and I love that. Pride month. But yes, that is how I'm leaving this off. Thank you for sticking around for this chaotic time. This whole entire vlog was chaotic. We don't need to talk about it. Subscribe if you want to, like, if you want to comment, especially with more Arthurian recommendations, because girl needs them. I am going to do a vlog where I read them at one point, because I have a few on my general TBR, so like I want to do a thing where I read a bunch of them. So like that would be highly appreciated. My Goodreads and Storygraph are linked below. I'm like always on Goodreads, so like have fun with that, as well as my Instagram, which if you want to know what my ratings are and what books I'm reading before I upload my vlogs, Instagram and Goodreads are the way to go. Goodreads, you know how much I'm reading each day and what I'm reading each day, but Instagram, I do post stories of any book that I'm reading for a vlog with my rating as I'm reading them, so like you'll know the rating before technically everyone else. So that's a thing that I do. And stay tuned for that. Also, if you stay tuned, that you'll find out if I made So This Is Ever After the top book of June. But yes, everyone go pick this up. This is, and Girls of a Thorn. I mean, some people don't like Girls of a Thorn, but everyone should read this because this is just adorable. Okay, thanks. Good night.